CBS Sports welcomes you to Memphis, longtime home of Elvis Presley, and not far from Graceland is Liberty Bowl Memorial Stadium, where the King might have said, if in fact he is not still with us, the Memphis Tigers ain't nothing but an underdog as they take on the Tennessee Volunteers this afternoon. Tennessee ranked number 6 at 6-1, while Memphis comes in at 3-6. And the Volunteers ready to take the field before a sellout crowd of nearly 64,000. And nearly half the fans wearing the orange of the University of Tennessee. Tennessee has won 4 straight since its only loss of the season to the University of Florida. Meanwhile, the underdog Memphis Tigers come into this one having lost 4 in a row. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. I'm Sean McDonough along with Mike Mayock, and it's great to have you with us. This is the 16th meeting all-time between these two in-state rivals, and Tennessee has won all 15 of the previous meetings. And Mike, if Memphis is going to pull off the upset today, they have to begin by dealing with Peyton Manning.
You know, Manning's skills are obvious. He's 6'5", 225 pounds, has a cannon for an arm, and will be one of the top picks in this year's draft if he decides to go. But what really separates him is his intelligence, poise, and game preparation. The guy just rarely ever makes a bad decision. Now, their pass offense accounts for 74% of their total offense. And their head coach, Philip Fulmer, well, he's an old offensive line coach, and I guarantee you he'd like nothing better than control the line of scrimmage and run the football. His tailback, Jay Graham, was a preseason All-American on the strength of last season where he had 10 100-yard games. This year, he only has 2. Sean, what's going to happen today? 2-back offense, pound the football, get physical, and go after Memphis.
And let's take a look now up close to the Memphis Tigers with Artie Gigantino down to the sideline. Artie?
Yesterday, the Memphis coaches told us the most important thing in this game is for the Memphis team to be aggressive. In fact, look for them to really be special on special teams. We expect trick plays. This year so far, they have been successful on 4 of 7 trick plays. Coach Rip Shear has even brought out all stops by making his team wear blue pants and asking legendary coach Billy J. Murphy to give an emotional speech to the team, which he did on Thursday. I was just in the locker room moments ago, and Coach really preached, believe they can win, expect to win. In fact, Lane Rawlings, the president of the University of Memphis, was walking around the locker room, hugging each and every player and coach. Back to you, Sean and Mike.
Thank you very much, Artie. 53 degrees, very pleasant afternoon for football here in the Mid-South. Light breeze, 7 miles per hour out of the southwest. Partly cloudy skies, but certainly no threat of precipitation at the moment. Tennessee won the toss and elected to receive, so Jimmy Keith will kick off. He's a junior from Franklin, Tennessee. And Fearless Price is back deep for the Volunteers.
Artie just talked about special teams. This team here, Memphis, has already kicked onside twice this year, all early in a ball game. So I believe what Artie said is true. Watch out for Memphis today on the special teams.
And certainly Tennessee is aware of the Memphis track record of trick plays, and Rip Shearer, their coach, said he'd pull out all the stops today. Short kickoff, bounce to the 11, and Price slips down to the 14-yard line. Tried to make a move to get away from Deron Sutton and slipped down. Peyton Manning, the leader of this Tennessee offense, now in his junior year, completing 66% of his passes this year and has thrown for more than 2,200 yards. Chester Ford and Jay Graham open in the backfield behind him. And it looks like Manning is changing the first play from scrimmage. It's a handoff to Graham. He gets to the 15 for a yard, and that's all. Wrapped up by Marvin Thomas, the right defensive end, number 98. One of the best players on the Memphis team. For Tennessee on offense, outstanding wide receivers in Joey Kent and Marcus Nash to go along with Ford and Graham in the backfield. John Sartell, a Memphis native, gets the start. Up front, the line a much better pass protecting unit than it is a run blocking group with Teague, Riley, Gibson, Poole, and Clifton from left to right. Another handoff to Graham, and he's back to the 15, and that's all. Taken down by Tony Williams, number 53, the left tackle. An inspired Memphis defense. The defense is the strength of the Tiger team. Sanabanyes, Williams, Hart, and Thomas, the front four. The best player on the defense, the middle linebacker, Richard Hogan, far and away their leading tackler with Jesse Allen and Britton Wilkins. In the secondary, Mike McKenzie, Jeremy Stewart, Keith Spann, and Kevin Cobb. The Memphis coaches concerned about the size of their secondary against the bigger Tennessee receivers. Graham Malone back behind Manning. He throws over the middle, well short of a first down to the 19, and that's all for Marcus Nash. He was gang tackled, and the inspired Tigers forced Tennessee to 3 plays in front of the first series.
Hey, nice job there, huh? First 2 plays, they run the ball just like we anticipated. Memphis stops them. Tennessee goes to their 4 wide receiver offense, and Memphis countered with a dime package on defense. So quite a chess match so far.
Larry Binion, the senior punter, will kick it away to Chancey Carr. Carr took it at his own 46, and Memphis opens in great field position at the 45-yard line of Tennessee after a 35-yard punt and a 10-yard return. Memphis offense has struggled all year long. They are 107th in the nation out of 111 Division I-A teams in scoring offense, averaging just 12.2 points per game. But the coaches told us don't blame it on Padre Anderson. Most of the good things that have happened for the Tiger attack have been as a result of Anderson's ability to throw and also run. Jeremy Scruggs, the fullback. Kapil O'Reilly, the tailback, opening the eye. Anderson going deep early. Contact along the near sideline, but no flags down. The intended receiver was Richie Floyd. Anderson joined in the backfield by Riley, their leading rusher, and Scruggs. Richie Floyd, the leading receiver, with Chancey Carr, and the tight end is Chris Powers. Up front, like Tennessee, the offensive line has not been a strength of the team this year. Gomez, Miller, Newton, Mumm, and Sells from left to right. No score, just underway. After the play action fake, Scruggs dropped it in the flat. He was open at the 40. And he is ordinarily a sure-handed receiver. Had 5 catches last week against Louisville, but dropped that one. For Tennessee up front, dealing with a loss of a great player in Leonard Little, Jeff Coleman, Bill Duff, Ron Green, and Jonathan Brown, the front 4. The linebackers are Al Wilson, Tyrone Hines, and Nick Jester. And in the secondary, Austin and Fair. The corners, Parker and Noel. The safeties. 3rd down and 10 for Memphis. No score in the opening moments. Anderson throws again, has his man. Carr short of a first down, tackled immediately by Terry Fair. Gain of 7. So it'll be 4th down and 3, and Rip Shearer is going to punt, we think.
Now this is almost too obvious a fake punt situation. Ball is on the Tennessee 38-yard line. there's some confusion out there, and they're going to have to call a timeout. He's got the punt team and the field goal team out there, and you can only use one of them, Rip.
So Memphis calls timeout with 4th down and 3 upcoming. We'll return to Memphis in a moment. After the timeout, it appears Rip Scherer has decided to try a long field goal by Ted Lane. A 55-yard attempt. It would be the longest in Memphis history. And he didn't get it there. His career long is 45, although during the pregame warm-up, he was spotted making one from 57 yards. He did have a slight breeze behind him.
You know what, though, Sean? I watched him in pre-practice also, but I mean, his long of the year is 46. That's almost 10 yards longer. I think the odds are against it. I think you either go for it on 4th and 3 or you punt it away and play field position.
Now, they've shortened the field for Peyton Manning, who doesn't need that kind of help. Eric Lane into the game now. Movement from Marcus Nash, but he is reset. And it's Graham across the 40. Rushing the football, a problem all season long for Tennessee. They come into the game averaging just 116 yards per game rushing. That's 9th in the SEC, ahead of only Ole Miss, Kentucky, and Vanderbilt.
And that's unusual for a school with a tradition like Tennessee of running the football, and with a head coach who's a former offensive lineman and has that mentality of running the football.
They lost some key linemen after last season, and this line has not blocked for the run as well as last year's did. Pass on target, but short of a first down. Peerless Price driven back by Marcus Gary and Kevin Cobb. It'll be 3rd and short for the Vols out of the 46. About 2.5 yards to go for a first down.
That's what Manning does so well. He understands what the defense will give you, and in that case it was a zone 3-step drop. He hits it, and now you're in a good situation. 3rd and 2 or 3. You've got a run pass option here.
3 wide receivers. Graham the lone back. Tennessee converting at nearly 40% for the year.
Here they come.
On 3rd down, the pass dropped. Intended for Joey Kent. He was well covered by Mike McKenzie, who might have gotten a piece of the football to knock it away.
Mike McKenzie is their best cover cornerback. Did a great job there. Blitz coverage, man-to-man, no help. Key 3rd down play right there for Memphis.
On 2 consecutive possessions to open the football game, Tennessee has gone 3 plays in punt. Binion's first punt went 35 yards. This a much better kick. Chancey Carr taking a chance at the 2-yard line, and not a good chance.
That's horrible. Every punt returner in the country knows you put your heels on the 10-yard line, and if it goes over your head, you wave your arms and get out of the way. Don't catch the football on the 2-yard line. Now you're put. Just a minute ago, Sean, they had great field position starting on the Tennessee side of the football. 2 special teams plays. They miss a field goal, and then they make a dumb catch on a punt return, and now they're on their own 12. Because of that, they've lost over 40 yards in field position.
And a timeout. Still no score in Memphis. Back at the Liberty Bowl, Memphis about to go on offense for the 2nd time. No score in the football game. Tigers begin at their own 12. Riley powers out to the 16, perhaps the 17-yard line. Tackled by Eric Westmoreland, a reserve linebacker, number 42, a true freshman who has progressed as the season has gone along. They moved Ronnie Pillow back to offense, a backup linebacker, and that cleared some room for Westmoreland to see more time.
And as you said, a true freshman. He was a high school defensive back, and in the tradition of today's defenses, you take defensive backs and move them to linebacker for their speed.
And it's Scruggs in front of Riley in the eye. Caudry Anderson trying to set up a screen, it appeared, and he throws it away. Under pressure in the end zone, Jonathan Brown dropped him after Anderson threw it away.
Now keep in mind, if the referee had thrown the flag on that and called an intentional grounding, that would have been a safety, because he was in the end zone when he let go of the football. Trying to set the screen up, Let's see, he's in the end zone. If they throw the flag, and they could have, we have a 2-0 ball game right now.
Tough to find a receiver in the neighborhood of that pass from Anderson, a senior from Oakland, California, in his second year here at Memphis after 2 in junior college in California. On third down, Anderson buried back at the 5-yard line. Tyrone Hines, the blitzing linebacker, got him for a loss of 10.
Looks like a jailbreak here. Get a good look up front. Hines from the right side of the screen comes through untouched. Number 47, and up top is Coleman. No place at all for Kadri Anderson to go. Now we're in a difficult position on your own 5-yard line. Punting deep out of your end zone. You're going to give Peyton Manning the best field position of the day.
Drew Paramore is the punter, punting away to one of the best return men in the country, Terry Fair. He's averaging 22 yards per return. Low, wobbly kick taken at the 41. As the quarter progresses, the field position turns in favor of Tennessee after a 36-yard punt and an 8-yard return. Joe Riccone, the long snapper, made the tackle, and he's a great story in Memphis. They call him the Bubble Boy. They had another snapper, Brent Armstrong, who got hurt earlier in the year. Riccone was the only good long snapper they had, so they wouldn't even let him practice on the scout team. They didn't want him to have any contact at his other position, linebacker, because if he got hurt, they didn't have a snapper, so he became the Bubble Boy.
And he wasn't happy about it. He wanted to play football, and the great thing about it is he's a walk-on, and he's hoping to earn the scholarship.
Sean Bryson in at tailback now for Tennessee. Great opening field position. Manning, play action, fake, and it's incomplete. The receiver had pulled up Joey Kent along the far sideline, and the throw was much too long. Mike McKenzie had the coverage, and Tremont Lawless was putting pressure on Peyton Manning.
Good call, though, on first down. Play action, little change in momentum because you've got the great field position, a little throwback post.
No score nearly midway through the first quarter. Bryson, the long back now behind Manning.
4 wide receivers.
And Bryson up the middle, tripped up as he crossed the 30. All at a gain of 4. Marvin Thomas made the tackle. Marvin Thomas, a player being eyed by the pro scouts. He's a senior from Bay Minette, Alabama, which he told us yesterday, just a little bit north of Mobile.
Memphis defense has come up big twice already today. Here's a big opportunity ball, and inside your 30-yard line, you've got to step up. 4 wide receiver offense.
Still have not had a first down picked up by either team in this game. First quarter dominated by defense. Manning with all day throws. There is the first down to Joey Kent. His 50th catch of the season. Keith Spann made the tackle.
4 wide receiver offense. Their inside receiver, Kent, from the left of your screen, is going to come inside, makes the move on the linebacker, and takes the hit from Spann and holds onto the football. Their inside slots are their key to their 4 wide receiver offense. Number 11 is Joey Kent. He gets right past the linebacker, no problem. Marcus Gary, and does a good job protecting the football from the hit from Spann.
First down at the Memphis 17. Bryson with a big hole. And he's down to the 11-yard line, tackled by Marcus Gary. Let's go to New York and get an update from Pat O'Brien.
All right, Sean, just days after Purdue coach Jim Coletto announced he was stepping down after the season, his Boilermakers shocked Michigan today, 9-3, scoring on this Rick Trapsker to Brian Alford 5-yard pass, as Purdue wins its second Big Ten game of the year, and I bet they can't talk either. That's a shocker.
Thank you, Pat. So one big upset today on a home field in college football. Memphis trying to make it 2. Bryson, a sophomore from Franklin, North Carolina. These are his first carries since the opening game of the season against UNLV, when Tennessee won in a rout with the run game struggling. Perhaps Phil Fulmer looking at some other options.
They're a team that used personnel very specifically. Sometimes they'll bring Levine in when they want to throw the football to the tailback position. Other times, Phil Fulmer will send in a guy like Bryson in a running situation.
Third down, a short 2 at the 9-yard line. No score with 6 minutes left in the first quarter. Bryson inside the 5. First and goal. Volunteers. A 7-yard gain for Sean Bryson.
Good blocking up front. They got a great push from Spencer Wiley, the left guard. Take a look at him pulling right out. Gets in front, gets the block, and the cut inside. You get a key first down and first and goal on the 2-yard line.
4 carries now for Bryson. He had 3 for the season, and as we mentioned, all of them in the opening game coming into this one. Full house backfield. Ford, Lane, and Bryson. Bryson up and over and into the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee.
Excellent push the right side of the offensive line, and both lead backs. Get the quick motion from Eric Lane coming right into your living room. Good tackle up front. Hogan's their All-American candidate at linebacker gets nailed, and Bryson over the top.
Jeff Hall adds the extra point, and Tennessee leads 7-0 with 5.5 minutes left in the first quarter.
Back in Memphis, Tennessee with an early score, 7-0. You know, coaches do things for a reason. Watch the motion here, because he's going to become the lead blocker and put the block on Marcus Gary there. This is the key to the touchdown. Parallel to the line of scrimmage so he can see who he's going to block. Big hit, touchdown.
First touchdown of the season for Sean Bryson. Chris Hogue kicks off. Kevin Cobb from the 10. He got smacked at the 24-yard line. Ran into Dwayne Goodrich. Short field with which to work on that drive for Tennessee. They only had to go 33 yards. It took 7 plays and 3 minutes and 6 seconds, capped by the run by Bryson.
It just goes back to what we talked about. They played the field position game. They had the patience to take advantage of it when they had it in the right field position. Credit Fulmer, credit Manning.
Option. Anderson in trouble and taken down for a loss. Back at the 19-yard line by Eric Westmoreland. Also up to force the play was the safety Torrey Noel.
Torrey Noel is one of the most physical guys out there on defense for Tennessee. He had a bone transplant for a herniated disc in '94. They didn't know if he'd ever come back. He's had a heck of a year this year for him. Only a junior.
And playing this afternoon in his hometown. He's a native of Memphis. Played at Melrose High School here in the city. Riley, tackled by Torrey Noel. Philo Riley made his way out to the 25-yard line. Gain of 5.
This is what Memphis has to do. They have to slow the game down, shorten the game, let the clock run, try and keep the clock running with all the way down to 5, 4, 3, and then snap the football, shorten the football game. Give Tennessee and Peyton Manning less opportunities.
Well, they can't be in 3rd and long, obviously, as they are now. 3rd down and 9. 3 wide receivers into the game. Damian Dotson has joined the starters. Anderson's throw nearly intercepted by Raymond Austin.
I'm trying to get Damian Dotson, a very talented freshman, but he did 2 things wrong. He's late on the pass, and he's very inaccurate with the pass. Not under pressure. Late hit there. But you got to step into the football and throw it more accurately than that. That was way behind Dotson.
Drew Paramore on to punt again. Terry Fair from the 29. Spin move. Didn't pay off for him as he ran again into the bubble boy, the long snapper, Joe Riccone, a 46-yard punt and a 4-yard return. And he's been anxious to have some contact, and he's getting it today. 2 tackles on punt coverage.
I guarantee if he didn't have a scholarship before today, we're going to get him one, Sean. Keeps making plays like that.
Next Saturday on CBS Sports, we'll have college football regional action. Most of you will see the Hokies of Virginia Tech taking on Miami. Others will see Georgia and Auburn. That's next Saturday, 3:30 Eastern time here on CBS Sports. Jay Graham back in the football game for Tennessee in the backfield with Eric Lane. Graham trying to cut it upfield, and he could not. Again, it was Marvin Thomas. We talked with Jim Fletcher, the defensive coordinator for Memphis yesterday. He said a big game by Thomas would not only help us, but it would also help him with the pro people starting to look at him.
Number 98 does a great job working his way down the line of scrimmage. He's 6'5", 252, ran a 4.66 for the pro scouts a year ago, and he's a guy that could go second, third, fourth round. He really needs to step it up and have a big game today.
There's a chance for the all-time sack record at Memphis. Graham looked like he was losing the handle on the football as he went up the middle, tackled by Richard Hogan's, the outstanding middle linebacker. Another pro possibility. Hogan's the leading tackler for Memphis this year with 110 entering today's game. That's 40 more tackles than anybody else on the team.
You know, he's an interesting guy. When the pro scouts talked about him, they all talk about his lack of height. He's only about 6'1", but bottom line is he's a player. He gets it done. Complete football player. Somebody's got to give him an opportunity.
Benji Schuler on the football field now for Tennessee at wide receiver, wearing number 81. Manning on 3rd and 9 has a man open. First down, Jermaine Copeland. Almost went the distance. Was tackled from behind to the 36-yard line. A 30-yard gain. Anthony Reddick and Kevin Cobb prevented the touchdown.
Nice job on the pick play here by Tennessee. 5-step drop. Copeland will come underneath after rubbing his man off, and McKenzie can't stay with him.
Jermaine Copeland, backup wide receiver and quarterback. If Manning leaves at the end of the season, he'd likely be the leading candidate to be the starting quarterback next year. Jesse Allen made the tackle on Jay Graham, and we check in again with Pat O'Brien.
All right, Sean, Notre Dame went up 7-0 as Irish back Mark Edwards scored his 8th rushing TD of the year on an 8-yard run. Then BC and freshman John Madich came back and kicked a 48-yard field goal. Now 7-3 Notre Dame. Back to Sean.
Here it's 7-0 Tennessee. The ball's on the move again. Down to a minute 33 left in the first quarter. And a reverse. The ball given to Copeland. He wants to throw it and slips down back at the 36-yard line. Well, we've seen his pass-catching ability. We were about to see his throwing ability. It looked like Marcus Nash thought he was open but didn't get the football.
Copeland, who is the backup quarterback. They call him Flash. Looking downfield, nobody there, just slips down. Manning was at the other side of the field wondering why he wouldn't throw it back to him.
We were on the field yesterday at practice, and the footing appeared to be excellent. We've seen several players slip here this afternoon. We haven't had any rain here in Memphis since Thursday. Manning on 3rd and long over the middle. Joey Kent, first down and much more. Joey Kent inside the 15 and down to the 13-yard line. Leading receiver in Tennessee history in receptions and yardage, adding to his total.
Watch the inside receiver right here. He's just going to beat coverage right over the middle. If there's anything Manning likes, it's the slant pattern. Look at him. He's telling everybody, I'm changing the signal. I'm seeing something. And we got our inside slot wide open. Underneath, he beats Span from the secondary. Big play by Joey Kent. And I think Manning does that as well as anybody in the country. He understands the coverage, and he delivers it on time.
And with that completion, Manning has just become the all-time Tennessee leader in passing yardage. He's thrown for 74 yards, flag down on the run up the middle.
There is a flag on the play.
And he came into today's game needing exactly 74 to move past Andy Kelly into the top spot all time in Tennessee history in passing yardage. So Peyton is number 1. He also came into today's game needing 23 completions to pass Kelly for number 1 in career completions at UT.
From the spot of the foul.
Manning 5 of 7 today.
Looks like Marvin Thomas just came off the field hurt also. And if that's the case, it's a big loss for that Memphis defense.
Holding penalty moves it back to the 22. Steve Landis is the referee today. It is an SEC officiating crew. That's the end of the first quarter. The score, Tennessee 7 and Memphis nothing. We'll return to the Liberty Bowl after this message and a word from your Memphis. Their standout defensive end Marvin Thomas is back in the game. Bad news is the first quarter is going about as you might have expected, or went about as you might have expected, with Tennessee dominating 100 yards of total offense to 2 for the Tigers. First and 19, the ball back at the 22-yard line.
Expecting blitz.
As a result, Manning moved Graham up to protect, and the pass is incomplete, intended for Benji Schuler.
That name sounds familiar, huh? Benji Schuler, younger brother of Heath, former great quarterback here and obviously now in the NFL. Great job, though, that time by the defensive back, Jeremy Stewart. Blitz coverage. He had no help. Manning was forced to throw the ball quickly, and he made a good break on the football.
It will be 2nd and 19.
It's 4 wides again, and Memphis has 6 defensive backs in the game.
Manning moves up under center.
A lot of stemming by that Memphis defense.
Manning under pressure and popped back at the 34-yard line by Marquise Bowling.
Bowling, number 91, wearing the cast on his left hand. He broke that hand in practice this Tuesday. Great coverage in the secondary, and when Manning turns around, Bowling's right there to meet him. That is a huge play because now it takes Tennessee and pushes them back into field goal territory at about a 50-yard attempt. So that was a big play and a bigger one coming up right here.
Second sack of the season for Bowling, sophomore from Memphis.
This dime package is causing Manning a little bit of problem.
Only a 3-man rush over the middle, nearly intercepted. It was knocked down by Jesse Allen.
Remember, 6 defensive backs in the game. Defensive coordinator Jim Fletcher said he was going to show him some looks Manning hasn't seen, and look at that, just hanging out right there in the middle. Ball was thrown right to Jesse Allen.
Timeout called by Tennessee. We'll return to the Liberty Bowl after this word from your local station.
Big 3rd down play by the Memphis defense here. Watch Manning's eyes. He focuses in down the field, down the field, down the field, doesn't see anything. He comes back across the middle. He hits Jesse Allen right in the hands, and that's a critical drop by Memphis. They should have caught the football. It's going to give Tennessee an opportunity here to punt the ball down close.
Manning on the phone with David Cutcliffe, the offensive coordinator. Larry Binion trying to hang it high. He punted that almost all the way back to Knoxville.
I mean, that's one of the worst punts I've ever seen. Wow. Either kick it high or kick it in the corner. Don't kick it long and deep down the middle.
So they only gained 12 yards net. They're on the 32-yard line. The ball will come out to the 20. And the fans applaud the play of the Memphis defense. As we said earlier, this is a good defensive unit that's been struggling to overcome the tough spots they've been put in by their offense all year long. It is a Tiger offense that has not played well, and they have a new quarterback. Bernard Oden replaces Padre Anderson. And Oden's first pass is caught by Chancey Carr. He's banged out by Torrey Noel. Let's get an update on the condition of Kadri Anderson from Artie Gigantino.
On the sidelines here, the Memphis coaches have decided to put Bernard Oden in at quarterback to give this offense a jump start. There is nothing physically wrong with Quandre Anderson. They just want to take him out for a series and give him a chance to calm down. Back up to you, Sean and Mike.
Sparky Woods told us yesterday he would play a couple of series. We just didn't expect it this quickly.
Burst of speed for Andre Woods, but he tripped up. Seemed to have some running room, but stumbled ahead. He's also a reserve. Backs up to Phil O'Reilly at tailback. Woods carrying for just the 13th time this year. So Sparky Woods, the offensive coordinator, going to some reserves to try to spark the attack. Rashad Bailey, the backup fullback, is also in the game. There's number 34. Oden peaks and has a first down. The first down of the football game for the Memphis Tigers. As Oden carried out to the 33-yard line, they'll mark it back at the 32.
Left guard right in here does a great job pulling out in front of the quarterback. Watch what happens. Gets the block on the edge, and that allows him to turn up the field and get the first down.
Tennessee leads 7-0. 2 minutes played in the second quarter. Rashad Bailey carrying for just the second time this season, tackled by Bill Duff. Bailey's a redshirt freshman from Newark, Delaware, the first Memphis football recruit ever from the state of Delaware.
Interesting move going to Oden this early. He's a great athlete. I guess, Sean, both teams have a slash. They both have a backup quarterback that also plays wide receiver.
Copeland for Tennessee, Oden for Memphis. Oden with time, throws it incomplete. Nearly intercepted by Jason Parker, but apparently the ball skipped into him. Running back did a terrific job in picking up the blitz.
Blitz is coming. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 step. Now let's see if he throws off his back foot here. Step up. Good job. He's got to throw the football better.
It was Andre Woods in the backfield. He did the nice job protecting Oden as he banged into Billy Ratliff. So it'll be 3rd down and 7 now at the 35 of Memphis. Blitz. And the swing pass incomplete, intended for Andre Woods.
Change of pace here with Andre Woods, number 22 at tailback. He's 170 pounds, got great speed, but he's got to catch the football. The intent there is to try and get a one-on-one with the middle linebacker, Tyrone Hines.
So Rip Shearer sends the punt team on. 3rd punt for Paramore. Haven't seen any trickery yet on special teams for Memphis. Made by Terry Fair at the 35-yard line, a 30-yard punt by Paramore. Well, the Vols go back on offense, leading 7-0 with 12:08 remaining in the first half.
It'll be interesting to see what kind of offensive personnel Tennessee comes out with this time.
Back here in Memphis, among those in attendance, Archie Manning, former Ole Miss great, New Orleans Saints All-Pro, the father of Tennessee quarterback Peyton Manning. Brian Darden now in the game. And he gets a handoff and gets driven back by Tony Williams, the man they call T-Bone, in the middle of that defensive front. And he wants to make sure everybody in TV land saw him as he came up waving to the camera.
You know, I watched their game tape last week against Louisville, and everybody talks about Marvin Thomas, but the guy that stood out to me in that game was Tony Williams, T-Bone. Great acceleration off the football. He's only 6'2", and that's why the pro scouts discount him also, but he's really a good football player.
He had 9 unassisted tackles in that game last week against Louisville, a tough loss for Memphis, 13-10. Peyton Manning, 24-3 in his career as the starting quarterback at UT, and he's going deep. And this defense for Memphis is really confusing Manning and the Tennessee offense.
It sure is. And you know what? The corner, Mike McKenzie's done a great job. He comes up, bump and run sometimes, then he drops back off, and you're getting a misread, a miscommunication between Kent and Manning, and that is highly unusual. Give some credit to this Memphis defense.
Manning now only 5 for 10, still stuck on 74 yards. There's David Cutcliffe, the offensive coordinator, nearest the camera. His 15th year on the Tennessee staff.
That's some pretty good quarterbacks in his time.
Draw for Darden, and he's dumped for another loss by Tony Williams.
At 6'2", 282, this guy's got great acceleration off the football. He runs right past a bad block by the center and guard, makes the tackle on Darden in the backfield. He's a big-time player.
Senior from Germantown, Tennessee, Larry Binion, hunting for the 4th time, and that's a surprise. Early in the second quarter, 11 minutes remaining. Tennessee has punted 4 times. Chancey Carr lost the football out of bounds at the 26-yard line. Here's stripped of the ball by Fred White. 48-yard punt by Binion. Return of 3 yards. And Memphis goes back on offense after this. 7-0 Tennessee. Still a long way to go until halftime. 10:49 remaining in the first half. Audrey Anderson back in the game at quarterback for Memphis. Bernard Oden came in for the last possession. Anderson quickly reinserted by Rick Shearer. Deep drop, he's under pressure, and the pass is caught. A nice diving catch made by the tight end, Chris Powers, out of the 31-yard line.
And they had to work awfully hard for a 4-yard gain there. It's a good play, though. Option. Tennessee flows hard to their left, and it's a throwback all the way across the field to the tight end, Chris Powers, who makes an excellent grab inbound. There's the option fake. Drops back. There's the hit right there. Number 22, Corey Terry.
On 2nd and 5. Back to the ground game go the Tigers. Andre Woods, the ball carrier. Junior from Memphis. He was named the Tigers' most improved player after spring practice. He hadn't played very much prior to today.
Now, he's a nice change of pace player. The coaches said yesterday they really wanted to find spots to get him into the football game and get the ball in his hands because he's so explosive.
3rd and 2. Woods, the first down. Out to the 38-yard line. Jason Parker, the free safety, made the tackle. Andre Woods, coming into this game, had carried the ball 12 times this season for a total of 11 yards.
But this is the kind of hole you want to see if you're a 5'7" running back. 3rd and short, good blocking up front. Get in behind your fullback and your tight end, but that's a nice solid tackle by Jason Parker. But Sean, the key, they finally found a way to move the chain. First down.
Tigers at their own 38, trailing 7-0. Option pitch. And Woods goes out of bounds, pushed out by Raymond Austin.
Good decision making on the option by Anderson, and also a good lead block. This is not a triple option. They predetermine whether they're going to give it to a fullback or not. Lead block by the guard, and there's the fullback out in front. That's Rashad Bailey with the great block, the late dish, and that's a good job for a first down play.
Woods remains in the game with Bailey. A couple of second teamers rising the backfield behind Anderson. He's scrambling away from behind. And they took a shot in the head from Torrey Noel. The play goes to the 42-yard line, back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all.
Sometimes I question the decision-making of Anderson. I thought he had the fullback in the flat early. He didn't do that. He holds on to the football and watch the hit he takes late right there by Torrey Noel. And Sean, we found out yesterday that Anderson had separated his shoulder earlier this year, or the week of the Southern Miss game, and it really isn't full speed yet.
His left shoulder, non-throwing shoulder, but trying to reduce the wear and tear on him by having him run less. He's in trouble and sacked back at the 36-yard line. Second sack for Tennessee. Jonathan Brown with help from Craig King.
Blitz package, it's got to be recognized. Your wide receivers have to get off the press. Your fullback has to do a much better job than he does right there. Rashad Bailey does a horrible job on Jonathan Brown. Gives Anderson no chance.
Brown second on the team in sacks with 6. Leonard Little lost for the year with a knee injury. Led the team with 8.5. Fair catches Paramore's foot on the run. There goes out of bounds at the 35-yard line. I think they're going to put the ball down back at the 33. It looked like Fair was making a fair catch signal. And then his momentum took him a couple of steps forward. They do put it back 2 yards to the 33.
Now remember, if you fair catch the football, you're only allowed to run with it. There comes the signal. Now when you catch the football, you're only allowed to run for about 2 yards. 1, 2, 3, okay, he's running out of bounds, no problem.
Jay Graham, the tailback. With Eric Lane in the game at fullback now. Manning, quick pop over the middle, caught by Dustin Moore, and the big tight end rumbles out near midfield, tackled by Mike McKenzie. Gain of 16 on the pass play to Moore, who did not start today. The coaches told us during the week they're trying to get his attention a little bit.
He's got all kinds of physical ability. He came in at 230 pounds. He now weighs 260, and he's got sprinter speed, so he's a guy with a great upside.
Handoff goes to Eric Lane, and the senior from East Orange, New Jersey, crossed midfield, tackled after a gain of 6.
Let's get a look at offensive line, talking about different blocking schemes. That's Jim Marshall trying to show him what's happening up front.
Second and 4. Tennessee leads 7-0 midway through the second quarter. Graham appears to be about a yard short of the first down at the 42. Graham, a team captain, senior from Concord, North Carolina.
And I think Philip Fulmer and his offensive coordinator, David Cutcliffe, have started to settle in on the two-back offense now. If you remember earlier, Manning made a couple bad reads against the dime defensive package. So what they do is go back to the two-back package, and it puts Memphis in normal personnel defensively.
3rd and 1. And again, Manning appears to be changing the play. Graham, not sure if he got there. Looks to be short from our vantage point. Well, good penetration. And again, the Tennessee line continues to have a difficult time with run blocking.
Got to give this Memphis front seven a lot of credit. Good job by Tony Williams. Excellent job by Jesse Allen and Timmy Hart. They faced the challenge of Tennessee again and forced a 4th down punting situation. But if you're Memphis, you have to be careful here. 4th and 1 on the plus side.
Larry Binion does punt, and again it is into the end zone. Well, that's twice he's done that in consecutive punts. This one 42, but only a net of 22. Well, no problem with the Memphis defense today. Once again, they're outstanding, but you wonder if the Memphis offense is ever going to score. They've now scored 1 touchdown in their last 14 quarters. That was in the game last week against Louisville. They did not get in the end zone against Southern Miss, Southwestern Louisiana, nor have they penetrated the end zone against Tennessee today. They've only had 1 game this season in which they've reached 20 points. That was against Houston.
The game clock is down to 8 now. 7-6. They're going to have to call a timeout coming out of a punting situation. It's amazing.
6 minutes left in the first half. It's down to 1 timeout remaining here in the first half after the problem. And it is Kadri Anderson still at quarterback. And the starting backfield of Jeremy Scruggs and Tefilo Riley. back into the game for Memphis. Scruggs, the fullback, through a big hole. He put his head down and came very close to a first down, about a half-yard shy. Corey Noel on the receiving end of that blow delivered by Scruggs.
Number 36, Scruggs, goes in motion, then comes back on the counter, and it's a trap play. They've only run it about 4 or 5 times a game, but it's one of their most effective running plays so far this season. It's a nice little play.
Scruggs was a quarterback in high school here in Memphis at Christian Brothers. He takes the handoff and has the first down. Again, it was Noel who made the stop. And apparently some conversation now between Scruggs and Noel. Noel acting earlier when he put a hit on Anderson. Now Scruggs returning the gesture. Memphis up to 29 yards of total offense. They had only 2 in the first quarter.
But the key there is Tennessee only had 103, and they had 100 in the first quarter, so they've only picked up 3.
Riley knocked down by Hines. Memphis averages only 274 yards of offense per game. That's 103rd among Division I-A teams. As we said earlier, there were only 111. And they're 107th out of 111 in scoring at 12 points per game. Scruggs, the lone back, 3 wide receivers on 2nd and 8. Anderson back near the line of scrimmage, and that's all. Chased out by Jeff Coleman. Coleman and Billy Ratliff battling for the playing time created as a result of the season-ending knee injury to Leonard Little last week at South Carolina. There's Ratliff, redshirt freshman from Magnolia, Mississippi. 3rd down. Memphis 2 of 7. They have 8 yards to pick up this time. Anderson had trouble with the snap and then went down to a knee as he caught it back at the 25. So that's 10 yards off those building offensive numbers.
Ball snapped right to the face mask. It should have been caught by Anderson. It was a full blitz coming, and obviously in college football, once the knee touches the ground, the play is over.
This has to be very frustrating to Rip Shear. Most of his background as an offensive coach, he's been an assistant in virtually every Division I program in the country. He has a former head coach, Sparky Woods, who was at South Carolina and Appalachian State as his offensive coordinator. Look out. Fair, some great moves in traffic, and he brought it all the way back to the 39-yard line of Memphis. 19-yard return for Terry Fair after a 33-yard punt by Paramore, and Anthony Reddick made the tackle.
Really get to see good hands and then the shake and bake of Terry Fair, who's 2nd in the country. Watch the cutback right here. Makes 2 people miss, back across the grain, makes another guy miss, and then gets up the field north and south. That's about as good as you can do with that particular return.
Chester Ford back in at fullback. Jay Graham, the tailback. Play action fake. Manning over the middle. First down. Anthony Reddick made the tackle, and Marcus Nash. Gain of 12 to the 27-yard line.
Manning does a great job with the crossing routes. His favorite patterns are Kent and Nash inside. Look at Nash, a big guy at 6'4", 190, makes the move on Anthony Reddick. And when you watch Tennessee, you've got to be cognizant of the crossing routes, because when they smell man-to-man, they go right through it.
Tennessee leads 7-0. We approach 3 minutes left in the first half.
Great job.
Intercepted by Keith Spann. Spann has only Manning to beat. Keith Spann tripped up by Manning and marked down at the 1-yard line. Great hustle by Peyton Manning to prevent the touchdown.
Spann just kind of laid in the weeds, did a great job on the weak side of that, anticipated the play the entire time. We've seen this a couple of times now. 3-step drop. Look at Spann flash across from his free safety position, anticipated the slant the whole way, And at this point, he's got a couple of blockers. Watch Manning turn his shoulder, turn his head, turn his shoulder. Does a great job cat and mouse. And with as bad as this Memphis offense is, that could be a key tackle by Peyton Manning.
And Tennessee has called timeout. 76 yards on the return by Spann. Pete Spann's third interception of the season has Memphis in great position to get the equalizing score. As Mike said just before the commercial break, your Rip Shear, you had to hope he could run it all the way in because this offense really struggled. But they only need a half yard for the touchdown. They go to Anderson, and he's in. Third rushing touchdown of the season for the quarterback, Padre Anderson. And the upset-minded Tigers are an extra point away from tying the game. Ted Lane adds the extra point. How bad has their offense been this year? That's just his 9th extra point of the season.
Ball's on the half-yard line. This is called wedge blocking. You got to get lower than everybody else's pad. Quarterback gets right in behind, and it's a touchdown. Everybody's just trying to get low. Anderson does a good job anticipating where the hole's going to be. Just gets in the right side of Ken Newton and Timmy Seymour.
So with 2:49 left in the half, Memphis and Tennessee are tied at 7-7.
And I'll tell you one thing, defensive coordinators that have Tennessee left on the schedule will be watching this tape to see exactly what Jim Fletcher, the defensive coordinator from Memphis, has done, because Manning has been confused today.
Jimmy Keith will kick off for Memphis. And Peerless Price is back at the 6-yard line for the Vols.
Memphis stays huddled up like that until the ref gives them the go-ahead. Sometimes they try to confuse what the kickoff return team can do for counting people for man-to-man blocking schemes.
Keith with a short kickoff. And it's returned by Derek Edmonds to the 29-yard line. 9-yard return. The kickoff nearly went out of bounds. So 2:41 left in the half and 1 timeout left for each team. Rip Shearer in his 2nd season as head coach at Memphis. Just watched his team score its 2nd touchdown in 14 quarters, and they only had to go a half yard to do it.
Luckily. 4 wide, back to the dime coverage.
And Jay Graham the lone back. And he gets the call on the draw. And is wrapped up at the 32-yard line. Tony Williams at the bottom of the pile, along with Britton Wilkins. Wilkins and Peyton Manning are friends. They met each other at a Fellowship of Christian Athletes retreat. Britton Wilkins, a senior, another Memphis native playing for his hometown university. On 2nd down and 5. The pass batted and nearly picked off. If Williams had seen the ball, he might have had a chance to catch it. It was deflected by Marquise Bowling.
Bowling with that cast on the left hand does a good job with the outside bull rush. It's the right hand that tips it. And I'll tell you what, you can just see the confidence growing from these Memphis guys and the frustration also for Peyton Manning.
Manning now 7 for 14 for 102 yards. And he has been changing the play frequently at the line of scrimmage. He throws, first down. Caught by Joey Kent. Out at the 46, a pickup of 13, and Manning wants to get quickly back to the line of scrimmage with 1:57 left in the half.
Good job being patient that time. They had a weak side zone, and he waited for the curl to clear. That was vintage Manning.
3 catches for Kent. Manning trying to throw it in the flat. Graham collided with Bowling.
Now, if I'm Cutcliffe or Philip Fulmer, I'm looking for some interference here. Watch Bowling, who's going to peel off with the back. He pushes him. The ball's in the air. That's interference. That's interference. David Cutcliffe a little frustrated right now. I don't think he expected to only score 7 points this deep into the first half.
Second and 10. Tigers coming to blitz. It's well picked up. The pass, again, nearly intercepted by Spann. There is a flag. Andy McCullough, the intended receiver. And there was contact near the 45-yard line of Memphis.
Well, I thought McKenzie did a nice job. Remember, McKenzie is a physical guy. 6'1", 190, gets his hands all over McCullough. Well, he's got the left arm draped. Well,
that's a, yeah.
You can't tell I'm an old defensive back, but I guess that was a...
Even you would have to concede that, yeah, that might have been worthy of the flag.
Yeah, look like they were dancing.
Holding by the defense. That's a 10-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
Landis is the referee. First penalty against Memphis today.
This is where Memphis has to be really careful. They're flying high, they're excited, but Peyton Manning's an old hand at the 2-minute rule. They've got to stay in here and not make any more mental mistakes.
1:42 left in the half. 7-7 the score. Memphis trying for its first win ever against Tennessee. They're 0-15 all time against the Volunteers. Manning throws high. You can see nervous feet from Peyton Manning as he dropped back into the pocket. He had McCullough open and missed him. Coming up at halftime in college football today, Pat O'Brien and Craig James, all the scores and highlights. That's coming up in 1 minute and 37 seconds. Manning 3 for his last 10. Flag down. Pass caught by Peerless Price. Close to a first down at the 34. It looked like Jay Graham might have moved prematurely. He did.
He sure did, and that is inexcusable in this kind of situation. You got your senior back. Watch him right here. Thinks it's there he goes. That's a penalty key situation. You don't expect to see Tennessee being the team to make that kind of mistake late in the first half type ball game.
So instead of a likely first down, it looked like they had enough for the first down at the 34. They're backed up to the 49-yard line. Second and 15. Graham Malone back.
Here they come.
Screen to the tight end, and Dustin Moore managed to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all. Richard Hogan's made the play. They had a chance to throw him for about a 3-yard loss, but Moore used his strength to bull it back to the line of scrimmage.
This is like punch, counter punch right here. Everything Tennessee tries, Memphis has the answer for. And Manning, this is as confused as I've seen him since the first half of the Florida game.
Third down and 15. Under a minute left in the half. Manning forced to go out of bounds in front of the raucous Memphis sideline at the 43. Chased out by Marvin Thomas.
But what's doing it is the secondary coverage. They've got 6 defensive backs that's playing a combination of mans and zones back there, and it's really causing a lot of confusion among the receivers and the quarterback. Fake the blitz. Watch 98 Marvin Thomas. Takes an inside tack. Now he sees Manning trying to get outside, and this is where the speed and quickness of Marvin Thomas comes in.
6th punt already for Binion. And a good one. Chancey Carr from the 18 has it in reverse and goes down to the 19. 39-yard punt. 33 seconds left. Nick Jester made the tackle for Tennessee. Now, if you're Memphis, I
Sean?
would guess you just sit on the ball here and be very happy to go in 7-7.
You and I have seen a couple horror stories this year by underdogs trying to get too much with no time left in the first half. If I'm Rip Shearer, I'm patting everybody on the butt saying, great job, let's get into the locker room.
His team's fired up right now, and Tennessee is confused on offense. No reason to get greedy.
No, take a knee and get inside.
Tennessee has only one timeout remaining. They do go to a knee. Philip Fulmer would just like to get into the dressing room and try to sort out some of these problems as well.
I'd like to be a fly on the wall in there.
He knew he'd be facing a fired-up Memphis team today, and his expectations have been met. 7-7 the score. Let's check in with Artie Gigantino.
Coach Fulmer, did you expect it to be this difficult this early?
We knew they had a good defensive team, but I think we've been our own worst enemy. Obviously, we're struggling some on offense. We'll get it back, though.
What offensive adjustments do you have to make in the second half?
We'll talk about them at halftime. There'll be a number of things, obviously, that we need to adjust to do better.
One last question, Coach. Did you expect that 30 nickel package that they've thrown at you?
We've seen it on film, but it's a combination of a lot of mix of different things. We just got to get it figured out up front and the quarterback.
Thank you, Coach, and good luck. Phil Fulmer, head coach, University of Tennessee. Back to you, Sean and Mike.
Interesting, as he said, get it figured out up front. And at quarterback, he realizes that Peyton Manning is confused, and that's a rarity indeed. End of the first half. The score, Tennessee 7, Memphis 7. Pat O'Brien and Craig James come along. Defense outgained the Memphis offense 76-32 in the first half. Kevin Cobb waiting for the kickoff. And it's a bad kick out of bounds near the 20. So Memphis will begin with excellent field position at the 35-yard line.
Illegal procedure. Kick out of bounds by the kicking team. Receiving team gets the ball 1st and 10 at the 35.
Now Philip Fulmer, frustrated by what happened in the first half, frustrated with the first play of the second half. And there's the number we mentioned a moment ago. The defense with better than 2-to-1 production advantage over the offense. Audrey Anderson with his typical very deep drop. And the pass is short of Chancey Carr. A moment ago, Artie Gigantino spoke with Rip Shearer.
Coach Shearer, it was a great first half. We didn't see any trick plays, but we saw a lot of aggressive plays and a lot of emotion. Will you try some trick plays this second half?
Well, we've got a couple. We got checked out of a couple, and we've got a couple other things we're going to try to do. We just got to try to play hard for another 30 minutes.
How can you sustain this emotion?
These guys believe. You know, and I said all along this whole week, we're going into this thing. We expect to win the football game. I don't think you'll see any letdown.
What did you tell your offense in terms of trying to get the ball moving a little bit more?
We just got to keep fighting. We're a little bit, we just an inch or two short. We're about to pop out of there a couple of times. We just got to keep blocking them, sustain the blocks, keep doing what we're doing.
Good luck to you in the second half, Coach. Thank you very much. Rip Shearer, head football coach, University of Memphis.
Thank you, Artie. On second down, Phil O'Reilly carried for Coach Shearer, and Billy Barron made the tackle. So it's 3rd down and 7. Opening possession of the second half. Jeremy Scruggs the lone back. He stays in to help pick up the blitz. The pass incomplete. Intended for Carr. And Audrey Anderson's now 2 of 7 passing. Corey Noel had the coverage on Carr.
And that was one of his few accurate passes of the day. The ball was dropped by Carr. You know, I spoke with Rip Shearer right before the game, Sean, and he told me, you know, I know you got all your blowout material ready, Mike, but watch out. We're going to play these guys tough.
Drew Paramore. Hunting with the breeze. Very fair. Backpedal to the 20. Broke the tackle of Racconi, then was tackled at the 28-yard line. After an 8-yard return, Deron Sutton made the tackle for Memphis.
Well, in the first half, the key play was the interception by Keith Spann. Watch him flash from free safety, read the eyes of Manning the whole way, returned at 76 yards. Manning does a good job tackling him on the half-yard line. But right there is what made the difference in the football game, 7-7.
Defensive players we spoke with yesterday from Memphis said they felt if they could put some hits on Manning, they could rattle him early. And he did appear to be rattled in the first half. After a smooth start, completed 5 of his first 7 in the first quarter to become Tennessee's all-time passing leader in total yardage. He was just 4 for 11, including that big interception in the second quarter. Jay Graham was the ball carrier on first down. Richard Hogan's tackled him after a gain of 8. Handoff went to the fullback, Eric Lane, and he has the first down out to the 40-yard line.
Now, I think what Philip Fulmer said at halftime was probably, look, fellas, we're going to get back to basics. We're going to get aggressive. We're going to get physical. And remember, whatever their personnel groupings on offense are, predicate the defense. So when they're 2 back on offense, Memphis is in their standard defense, not the dime package.
Play action fake by Manning. And his pass is caught. There's a flag down in the secondary. Peerless Price, the reception, short of a first down at the 49-yard line. Kevin Cobb tackled him. And there might have been some contact before the catch.
Yeah, the Memphis corners are playing very, very aggressively, both Kevin Cobb and Mike McKenzie. If you remember, near the end of the half, we had an interference penalty on McKenzie, and this time they're going to get Cobb, I believe.
Kevin Cobb's twin brother Keith, a defensive back for this Memphis team. Keith has alternated back and forth between offense and defense with a running back at the start of the year.
Holding on the defense. Penalty refused. Second down.
They turn down the penalty, take the play. They'll have second and less than a yard. Rip Shearer working the Southeastern Conference officials.
Might say he's a little Rip.
Nickname comes from his father, who is known as Rip to his friends in the Pittsburgh area because he used to sleep a lot. Rip Van Winkle. Graham the ball carry for the first down. Tim Hart made the tackle, so Rip Shearer became young Rip. And his father, Rip Sr., is here today. He's out of high school coaching after many years as a high school coach in the Pittsburgh area. But Coach Shearer's dad is now a scout for the Colts. And is here today, as are all 5 of Rip Shearer's sisters. Fake to Graham, pass in the flat, wide open. Marcus Nash out of bounds with a first down at the 33-yard line. Collared by Anthony Reddick.
Now remember, usually the inside guy has been running slants. This time he's going to come out and break it, and the outside guy's coming in. Number 27, the backup safety, Anthony Reddick, gets caught. He's way too far off. He's 7-yard separation, wide open to Nash. That's a situation in man-to-man where Reddick's got to get an awfully lot tighter than that.
Coach Fulmer said they needed to get in and make some changes at the half, and it appears they have. They're moving the ball impressively. Richard Hogan's made the tackle on Graham, but it's a gain on the play to the 29-yard line.
We had a real nice conversation with the offensive coordinator, David Cutcliffe, for Tennessee, and he told us it would tickle him to death to be able to run the football for 250 yards today, that he wanted to get back to aggressive Tennessee football. But so far, this Memphis defense has done a great job.
2nd and 6. And that time very little on the run as Jesse Allen made the quick hit on the ball carrier Jay Graham.
Jesse Allen comes right off the corner. Right there, number 37 does a nice job closing down, reading the play, going away from him, and hustling in to make the tackle.
3rd down now. They need to reach the 23-yard line for a first down.
4 wides, dime package.
Manning with plenty of time. Throws, first down. Down to the 20 goes Marcus Nash, again tackled by Reddick. That's a pickup of 10 for the Volunteers.
Reddick is 5'11", 200. He's working on Nash at 6'4", 200. Nash, the big, long, striding guy, man-to-man coverage, and now he can use his body. He's 6'4", 200 pounds, and just like a basketball rebound, just use the body and keep the defender away.
4 catches for Nash. Now 35 for the year. Graham with lots of running room. This is as impressive as we've seen the Tennessee offense this afternoon. Graham down close to the 10. Tackled by a backup defensive back, number 41, Don Hazelwood.
Yeah, Cutcliffe's getting what he wants right now. They're physical up front. The right tackle, Chad Clifton, did a great job coming down on the 7 technique tackle. He broke him right outside. Good job.
Second down, a yard. Opening possession of the second half for Tennessee. 7-7 the score in the third quarter. That's a first down as Graham was tackled by Hogan. He only needed to reach the 10. He got down to the 9.
Hogan's in second in Conference USA in tackles. Number 14 does a nice job standing up the guard, then falling back inside and making the play. That's a 6'2", 250-pound inside linebacker that can run.
I'm going to measure, but looked like he had it with room to spare. And Richard Hogan has played all over for this Memphis defense. He started at middle linebacker, defensive end, outside linebacker, and even started the game at nose guard last year for Memphis.
The reason he wears number 14, of course, he was a high school quarterback. So you know the guy's an athlete.
First and goal at the 9-yard line. Manning, low throw, and the catch was not made by Nash. Mike McKenzie had the coverage on Marcus Nash. Wasn't Peyton Manning's best throw. Impressive drive. Bear in mind the touchdown drive in the first half for Tennessee covered only 33 yards. This drive, 63 yards. And it's taken nearly 4 minutes for 11 plays. Volunteers punted 6 times in the first half. Graham the lone back on second and goal. And he gets it on a draw and is thrown for a loss. Back at the 12, it was Tony Williams.
Tony Williams, number 53, just having a great football game. Middle of your screen, he fights off one block, a second block, and quick enough to get back inside and make the tackle on Graham. And when I asked these guys what running play they feared the most, it was the draw, and that's exactly what they got right there from Jay Graham.
4 tackles for a loss in this game for Tony Williams. Third and goal from the 12 against the blitz. The man is wide open, and Graham has the touchdown.
That time, the Tennessee offense did a great job. Memphis was stemming and stunning and trying to show all kinds of different pre-snap reads. Manning took his time and found Jay Graham right down the seam.
First touchdown reception of the year for Graham. Jeff Hall adds the extra point, and Tennessee leads again, 14-7.
And this is what you want right here. You've got your talented tailback, Jay Graham, isolated on a linebacker, Jesse Allen. Manning understood the mismatch, looked one way, came back the other, touchdown.
Memphis, Tennessee has taken a 7-point lead. Its first possession of the second half, a very impressive drive. Led by Peyton Manning, it covered 72 yards. 13 plays, took more than 5 minutes off the clock, and officially an 11-yard pass from Manning to Jay Graham.
Cutcliffe finally having a chance to talk to his quarterback and say, hey, that was the kind of Tennessee drive we like to see. Good balance, run pass, and you did a great job on the touchdown pass, understanding where the mismatch was and taking advantage of it.
Peyton Manning has now thrown at least 1 touchdown pass in 8 straight games. Jeff Hall kicks off now. Chris Hogue had the first kickoff of this half and kicked it out of bounds, so he got the hook from Coach Fulmer. And it's run back by Kevin Cobb. And apparently he never went down. No whistle for it. He's still on his feet. And he will score, and it will count. Touchdown, Memphis.
And we talked back at the beginning of the show, how can Memphis get it done here? It's defense and it's special teams. And so far, each of those groups has made a big play for Memphis. Watch Kevin Cobb. Everybody in the stadium, especially the Tennessee defenders, thought he was down. Gets into the wedge right here. Look at the balance. Oh, my goodness, he never goes down. He stays up. That was Craig King who thought he had him tackled.
And credit the officials with great discipline. It would have been very easy to blow the whistle thinking his knee was down. What flexibility. How did he not hurt his ankle while making that play? Stayed on his feet, went 95 yards for the touchdown. The fourth longest kickoff return in Memphis history. So the Tigers are doing exclusively with defense and special teams, and they're still top.
Well, it was defense in the first half, and look at special teams now in the second half. Kevin Cobb takes the ball on his own 5-yard line. Craig King, number 44, will flash into your screen, make a big hit. How does he stay up? That's incredible dexterity, great athletic ability, and Kevin Cobb can fly. Jeff Hall has no shot in the open field. 95 yards later, Sean McDonough, we got a football game.
First kickoff return for a touchdown for the University of Memphis since 1993 when Mac Cody brought one back 89 yards for a score against Cincinnati. Kevin Cobb, junior from Cleveland, Tennessee, has them even again. We showed you the numbers at the half, the defense outgaining the offense. Well, we can throw the special teams in there now. 137 yards on special teams, still 76 for the defense. That set up the first touchdown, and only 35 for the offense.
But the only stat that matters is we've got a 14-14 ball game with 8.5 minutes left.
Fearless Price, driven back into the end zone, and he'll run it out. Good kickoff by Jimmy Keith. And Price was tripped up and stumbled just across the 20 to the 21. Tavares Newsom made the tackle for Memphis. .8:22 remaining third quarter. 14-14 the score. And this game being played in front of the largest crowd in the history of this stadium. 65,885. Sean Bryson back in the game at tailback. Manning going deep. One-on-one coverage, but the pass is incomplete. Mike McKenzie had excellent coverage on Eddie McCullough.
Interesting what Cutcliffe is doing now. He's going 3 wide receivers, 2 backs, hoping to keep Memphis out of that dime package. Manning got exactly what he wanted, which was isolated one-on-one coverage, but McKenzie has been equal to the challenge all day today.
Second and 10. Bryson the lone back in the game now for Tennessee. Manning, quick pass out to Nash. He's short of a first down. Knocked out by Keith Cobb, the brother of Kevin Cobb, twin brother, in fact, of the player who just returned the kickoff for the touchdown.
And as an old defensive back, this is a lot of fun for me to watch because they're changing up coverages so well here. They gave a man look, then they passed it off in the zone. Manning thought it was man-to-man, but they're just doing a great job. Every play, a little something different to make Peyton work every single snap.
And a big third down as Memphis tries to keep the momentum. They could use a stop. Manning changing the play on third down and 2 at the 29-yard line. The pass is caught for a first down. Big catch made by Jermaine Copeland. He was shoved out by Keith Spann, a gain of 8.
This time Keith Spann has too much separation for man-to-man coverage. Inside receiver is Copeland. He's going to run a little out route. And look at this, you can't even see him in your screen yet. Spann's got to get up much more quickly than that, especially in a third and short situation.
Ball right at the 37-yard line. On the ground. And Bryson tripped up in the line of scrimmage. Marcus Carey made the play for the Tiger defense. Talked about this rivalry, how it's been dominated over the years by Tennessee, a perfect 15-0 against Memphis, and how big a surprise this is. Most of the games have not been close. Only 3 games in this rivalry have been decided by 7 points or less. And 7 of the 15 Tennessee wins over Memphis have been by 26 points or more. And Manning is sacked. Tony Williams again back at the 26-yard line.
Well, if somebody in the NFL doesn't like Tony Williams, let me know, because this guy can play football. 6'2", 282, little swim technique. Defensive lineman swims right past number 51, the center, Brent Gibson. Manning has no shot on that.
And a big loss. 10 on the play. On the sack by Williams. 3rd down and 21. 14 all to score. Just under 7 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Only a 3-man rush, and Manning has time, and a receiver short of a first down. McCullough out of bounds at the 43. Knocked out by Mike McKenzie, but he's about 3 yards short of a first down.
Here's what Memphis is doing. They're showing you a 2-deep look. That's what Manning sees every play, and he looks to have a nose guard, defensive tackle, defensive tackle. What they're trying to do is call a 30 blitz package. Then they drop back into a combination of man and zone, let them throw the ball underneath, and now they've got a punt.
Larry Binion for the 7th time. And 1 game this season, which he's punted more often. That was 8 punts against Alabama. Nancy Carr taken down at the 16-yard line. 44 yards on the Binion punt. And 3 yards on the return. Mark Ingram made the tackle for Tennessee. $14 all the score. 3rd quarter here in Memphis.
Back here in Memphis, it's 14-14. And on the University of Memphis sideline, there's a lot of emotion, but a lot of serious looks here on the University of Tennessee sideline. In fact, Phil Fulmer just came over and coached up the offensive line himself. Back to you, Sean.
He is the former offensive line coach, regarded as one of the best in the country. His line play this season has not been very good. Caught ball! Riley was popped, and it's a free football inside the 20.
I think that was Torrey Noel that flashed from the strong safety position and popped it loose.
Tennessee players indicating they have recovered, and still no gesture from the officials.
Al Wilson fighting on the bottom.
Tennessee football. First really big mistake made by Memphis today.
And that's exactly what your offense can't do to you. The defense and special teams has kept you in the game. You've got to protect the football. Watch the hit coming up right there. That's a missile. Torrey Noel puts the helmet right on the football. Ball pops loose, and I think Al Wilson comes up with it. Hines taking on the block, but watch Noel flash right here. Helmet, shoulder pads right on the football. He comes loose. Tennessee ball. Let's see if Manning goes up top for 7 right away.
First turnover by Memphis. Tennessee in business at the 19. They're going up top right away, and it's incomplete out of the back of the end zone, looking for Price. Flag thrown. That ball's not catchable. That ball landed well out of the back of the end zone. Kevin Cobb in the coverage.
And that was an awfully late flag. He might have been pushing with the arm, but Sean, I agree with you. The ball was out of the end zone. Let's see what happens here. Kevin Cobb in coverage on Peerless Price. He's running with him. You got to turn your head, look for the football. That's a good job. That's a good job. I can't see pass interference there.
Can't see him catching it and being in bounds either.
That's incidental at best, and I think they're going to wave it off. Please.
Pass interference.
No, they will not.
On the defense, 15-yard penalty. Down.
Reed Ripshear's lips. That's uncatchable.
And I'll tell you what Rip Shearer is thinking right now. This whole crew is an SEC crew.
That's a horrible call.
And that's just a poor job. The kid made a great coverage play. There was a little pushing in the back of the end zone, but it's uncatchable.
With the walk-off, they're inside the 5 at the 4. And Memphis with some late substitutes had players scrambling off the field. They're still confused. Matter of fact, Kevin Cobb doesn't know if he's supposed to be in the game. Now Britton Wilkins runs in very late. And a flag thrown right where the tackle was made on Eric Lane. Might this be the holding penalty that goes as the makeup call? .6:26 remaining in the third quarter. We're at the Liberty Bowl.
On the offense, 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
The Memphis Tigers at 3-6 on the year, having lost 4 in a row, trying to end that losing streak with their first win ever against their in-state rival Tennessee. 14 all the score. Philip Fulmer said during the week, nobody hates us more than Memphis. And the Tigers are playing with that emotion this afternoon. Ball back at the 13-yard line.
Cat and mouse.
Now the Tigers come back up to the line. Jay Graham, the ball carrier. Hogans and Hart combined on the stop.
You know, the other significant issue, Sean, is the fact that this is an in-state rivalry and they're competing for a lot of the same kids in the recruiting process. A win today by Memphis helps turn this program around. It is just a huge, huge football game for the Tigers.
Even though it isn't showing up yet in wins and losses, Memphis is getting better talent into the program in the 2 years under Rick Sherrill, doing a better job keeping Memphis players in Memphis. Pass incomplete, thrown into traffic. Moore and Andy McCullough in the same neighborhood, and the ball passed by, setting up third down.
Yeah, that's bad spacing by the Tennessee offense. I think McCullough should have been nowhere near Moore on that play. Moore, the tight end, has his man beat. And watch what happens when Manning delivers the football. Moore is about to catch it. Who makes the play on it but McCullough? That's a touchdown if McCullough's not there.
Third and goal from the 11. Graham the lone back, 4 wide receivers. Three-man rush after a fake blitz to the end zone, intercepted, and down to the back of the end zone. Deron Sutton, a reserve cornerback, with his first interception of the season. And after the fumble on the 19-yard line by Riley, Tennessee does not capitalize.
This is unbelievable. Cat and mouse again. They showed man, and then Sutton drops back into his zone. Releases back underneath. Manning thought he had the corner route. Unbelievable. 1, 2, 3, 5-step drop. He thinks he's got the corner route. Frustrating day.
He's taking a lot of hits. That one from Bowling. On first and 10. Scruggs the fullback. Tripped up at the 41. Had that tackle not been made by Jason Parker, Scruggs had a chance to go the distance. 21 yards on the play, by far the best play offensively for Memphis.
This is the second time today they've run this little counter play to the fullback who's in a wing position. Both times it's gone for good yardage. Nice job by Scruggs and the offensive line.
Anderson stumbled away from center. Has a man open in the flat. It's Kerry Cobb, the reserve tight end. Short gain for a yard, perhaps 2, near the 42-yard line. Call it a gain of 1 on the 6th catch of the season for Cobb. And hope they have a good long-distance carrier between the field and the press box, because it is a long-distance call with the height of this press box.
That sounds about right.
Or Peyton Manning to talk with David Cutcliffe. That's definitely a toll call. 2nd and 9. 4:25 left, third quarter. 14-14 the score. Anderson dropped across the state line into Mississippi before throwing that pass, and then threw it well short of Scruggs. I mean, he has to throw it 20 yards just to get it back to the line of scrimmage, although it did look like they were trying to set up a screen. Not a very good one.
Yeah, they had 3 wide receivers in the pattern. He's very deep on the drop. Now he's got to get flushed out, and Al Wilson does a great job on the coverage.
Audrey Anderson, the quarterback. Played 2 years at Laney Junior College in the Bay Area in California for the Stampeders. After a career at Berkeley High School. Anderson. Nowhere near a first down. Al Wilson made the tackle, and Memphis will punt. On 4th down at about 7. Nice play by Wilson, the sophomore from Jackson, Tennessee.
Yeah, with the loss of Leonard Little, season-ending injury, this might be potentially their best football player. Al Wilson is only a sophomore, runs really well. Former defensive back, tailback in high school.
Paramore. Booming punt. Fair catches it inside the 10. And good coverage by Memphis. Tackle made at the 14-yard line. A 48-yard punt by Paramore. And a 5-yard return by Fair. Coming up next weekend on CBS Sports, Greg Norman and a few of his close friends team up at the 1996 Franklin Templeton Shark Shootout. Saturday coverage begins at 1:30 Eastern and Sunday at 3:30 Eastern. A great golf event next weekend on CBS Sports. Defending champions in that event, Mark Calcavecchia and Steve Elkington. So Tennessee will begin deep in its own territory at the 14-yard line.
Jimmy Hart still has a lot of energy firing up these 65,000 people.
Apparently there's some sort of problem with the officials here because the play clock has not been started. And it might be a chain problem because we don't see the chains down at the 14-yard line. There also might have been a flag on the play. There was a very late flag thrown.
Yeah, I think that's why they haven't moved the chains yet.
So that holding call will back them up inside the 10. They'll put the ball on the 8-yard line. Crowd split just about 50-50 in terms of numbers, with the noise being made by the Memphis fans at the moment. Jay Graham out to the 10, and that's all. Tackled by Tony Williams, who's playing the game of his career here this afternoon.
The old T-Bone is just having a wonderful football game, I'll tell you right now.
And it's obviously a very well-coached Memphis defense. There's the Memphis coach's box.
Jimmy Fletcher, the coordinator, was behind one of the poles there. He's just a great defensive coordinator doing a heck of a job today.
Graham out to the 15, short of a first down by about 3 yards. That'll set up 3rd down and 3. Richard Hogan made the tackle for Memphis. We're down to 2:45 left in the 3rd quarter, and the longer Memphis hangs around, obviously, the greater the chance of the big upset. And this is the kind of game that could be a program builder for Memphis. Whipshire feels all the elements are in place here to have a competitive program that could be a top 20 program. A huge win would help a lot. Manning, short pass. It is good for a first down with the second effort by Eric Lane. Great play by Lane where he caught it. It would have been very close to a first down. Once he shed the tackle, there was no doubt.
That's a critical play in this football game. I think McKenzie had him tackled prior to the first down. Let's see, right there, I don't think he's got a first down, but Lane does a great job, just gets the first down and keeps the drive going.
He would have been short. Jesse Allen forced to make the play at the 20. Lane and Graham in the backfield. Graham tripped up at the line. Leg whip. Manny Santabanez, TJ Fryer on the play for the Memphis defense. Jay Graham From an athletic family, his sister Kim, a gold medal winner at the Olympics in Atlanta, and the American 4x400 relay team. I think he gets his athletic work ethic from watching his sister. The effort she puts into her track career. No running room that time for Jay, and there'll be no medals handed out to the offensive line for Tennessee again today. Very few holes in the run game for the Volunteers. Marcus Gary made the tackle.
When you look at this offensive line for Tennessee, they lost 3 guys to the NFL. They also lost Jarvis Rito, their starting right tackle. So coming into this year, they only had a grand total of 10 starts, and it has been the Achilles heel. They have not been able to run the football when they need to.
A program like this, sometimes you just assume they'll have people to plug in who will play effectively, but that hasn't happened for this Tennessee line. 3rd down. They need to come up just shy of the 30 for a first down, and a timeout called by Tennessee. 2 timeouts left for the ball. Sean McDonough with Mike Mayock and Artie Gigantino back at the Liberty Bowl in Memphis. 14 all to score in the final minute of the 3rd quarter. Here in the 3rd quarter, Tennessee has run 26 offensive plays. Memphis has run only 8, but each team has scored 7 points. The Memphis touchdown and a kickoff return. They take the draw on 3rd and 10. The pass caught. Another first down. This time it's Jermaine Copeland out to the 35. Another big 3rd down conversion for the Vols. A gain of 15.
Here's where the Memphis defense cannot lose their aggressiveness. Situation at 3rd and 10. They play a little soft here. They're in a zone. Copeland's going to sit it down at the 10-yard marker. Number 41, Hazelwood, is too far off. You can't do that on 3rd and 10 and allow Copeland to curl up right at the first down marker.
3rd catch for Copeland. Final 30 seconds of the quarter. Sean Bryson. Good move to cut it upfield. He crossed the 40 and went down to the 43. That's a gain of 8 on what might be the last play of the quarter.
You know, and the reason we have a tie game right now is that Memphis's defense has played an incredibly aggressive defense, and even though they can't give that up now, they can't start to play back on their heels in the 4th quarter.
And they just did get this play off. Bryson stopped short of a first down. So we'll have another big 3rd down on the first play of the 4th quarter. At the end of the 3rd quarter, the score, Tennessee 14, Memphis 14. We'll return to the Liberty Bowl after this message and a word from your local station. Still a tie game heading to the 4th quarter. Thanks to the special teams and defense of the Memphis Tigers, they have only 61 yards of offense. 3rd down and 1. Tennessee's already converted twice on 3rd down in this possession. Up and over goes Graham for the first down. Needed to reach the 45. He hurdled to the 46 and might have knocked the wind out of himself with that effort.
3rd and 1, 2nd time today. The first time Memphis stopped him. Graham gets up high, elevates, and lands on the left hip. He'll get the first down, but he'll also take a trip to the sideline.
Tennessee now 10 out of 18 on 3rd down. Time of possession better than 2-1 in favor of Tennessee. The total yardage 265 for Tennessee, 61 for Memphis, but it's a tie game. It's Sean Bryson crossing midfield down at the 48-yard line of Memphis. Tackled by Britton Wilkin, one of 4 married players on the Tennessee team. He and his wife Teresa have been married for 5 months.
Now this is a situation where you would generally favor Tennessee. They've been in big games before. They've been on television before. They've been in tough 4th quarter situations before. It'll be interesting to see which group steps up and plays at the highest level here.
They've already made some big plays on 3rd down on this drive. 2nd down and 4. Here comes the blitz. Bryson tackled by Hogan, but it's another first down, it appears. It'll be very close inside the 44-yard line.
4-man front, and then you're going to see the linebackers walk up in front and a little guard trap. Linebackers step up. Here comes the trap. Good job eluding the tackle of Tony Williams. First down.
.35 remaining. 14-14 the score. Manning dropped the snap and had to fall on it back at the 46-yard line. A loss of 2.
Hard to believe in this kind of situation you can have that problem. Manning pulling away, Gibson, the center, and the football on the field. That's a wasted down in a critical situation.
I guess when you're having a day, you're having a day. Memphis now has the wind at its back in the fourth quarter. Believe it or not, the breeze has shifted. And Hogan's wraps up Bryson. Well, the 3 big stars, we were told by the Memphis coaches on their defense coming into today's game, were Tony Williams, Marvin Thomas, and Richard Hogan's, and they have all been sensational today.
Yeah, their front 7 has dominated the football game. Get a good look at Tony Williams, 53. The cutback by Bryson. Bowling comes over top, and there's the hit by Hogan, stepping up into the hole like a great middle linebacker should.
Arkansas, the only other Division I-A school that recruited Richard Hogan, out of Columbus, Georgia. Tennessee's done a fine job on 3rd and long today. Manning going deep, overthrown, looking for Andy McCullough, running down the hash marks, and it was well over his head. Well, Tennessee moved the ball, but they'll be forced to punt.
I really believe that the front 7 from Memphis is dominating this football game right now, and their defensive backs have done a great job confusing Manning.
8th punt for Binion, matching his season and career high, and they nearly blocked it. It was deflected, so even though Binion went down, there is no flag. He is slow to get up. Don Hazelwood got a piece of the ball, and Binion, and as a result of the deflection, the punt went only 31 yards.
He's telling everybody he's fine. Every punter in America falls and grabs his leg when they get hit. Here comes the extension. He gets a piece. No interference.
Here in Memphis, they're starting to believe on the Tigers sideline. And in that offensive huddle, do they have even one drive in them as an offense? The Tigers of Memphis. They begin this one at their own 15-yard line. 14-14 the score, 12 minutes remaining. Reverse. It might be a pass. It's Richie Floyd turning it into a gainer and short of a first down. And there might be a flag for a hit out of bounds over at the 26-yard line, far side. Looked like Floyd wanted to throw it. Couldn't find a receiver, decided to run with it. And I believe he was hit out of bounds. There was a very late flag on that far sideline.
Because it was a very late hit. You're exactly right. He wanted to throw the football to Chancey Carr.
Hit late out of bounds. That's 15 yards against the defense. An automatic first down.
Richie Floyd is one of the most headsy players on this team. Has 38 catches coming into the game, runs a 4.5 40, and can throw the football. He wanted Carr. He wasn't there. Good move away from Wilson. Gets to the sideline, and there comes the late hit. No question on that call.
So with the walk-off, they're out to the 38-yard line. And off to the fullback, Scruggs. He gets across the 40, out to the 42. Let's check in New York with Pat O'Brien.
Thank you very much, Mama. BC hanging in there versus Notre Dame as Omari Walker scores on his second TD of the game. 16-yard run. The Eagles then converted the two-point conversion to tie the game at 21. Back to Sean.
So a tie game at BC, a tie game here in Memphis. Credit the Eagles for putting all the distractions of the week behind them. 2nd and 6. Andre Woods, flag thrown in the area in which you would expect a holding call. The play stands. It's very close to a first down. Bill Duff made the tackle. It was a relatively penalty-free first half. The officials have been more active here in the second half. And it is a holding call and a big break for Philip Fulmer.
Take him back. The field position game right now.
I don't think that was the toughest decision Phillips had to make as head coach at the University of Tennessee.
Holding on the offense, 10-yard penalty, spot of the foul. Repeat second down.
So the big problem for Rip Shearer right now is that he does not have any kind of big play offense. His quarterback Anderson is not a great passer, and nobody has stepped up offensively to make a big play. And that's why he's trying to get Woods in there. That's why Richie Floyd touched the football in the reverse. He's got to get some of his talented kids with an opportunity to make a play.
I think if you're Rip Shearer, too, you might be thinking, the way our defense is played, if we could just stay where we are and take a chance in overtime to pull off an upset, you just can't have the offense make another fatal error. They almost made one on the fumble at the 19-yard line, but the defense got the ball back.
That's exactly right, Sean, and you can see it right here. Once again, Memphis 41 yards of total offense this half.
Which, to be kind, is an improvement over their performance in the first half. And they had 32. On second and long, Anderson with a lot of time to throw, has his man. Short of a first down, it's Richie Floyd. He's out at the 44-yard line. Tyrone Hines made the tackle. They need about 5 more for a first down.
But that's okay. You got more than half of it back from the holding penalty. I think this is the guy they've got to get the football to a little bit more. Floyd does a great job running Terry Fair off. Fair showed him the respect, and he curled back and caught the football. Now you've got a manageable opportunity on third down.
Floyd came in with 38 catches, third most in Conference USA. Big third down. We're only 2 of 10 on third down today. 14 all to score in the fourth quarter. They're going for a bunch, and it's incomplete. Trying to hit the home run with Damian Dodson, and Raymond Austin was running stride for stride with him.
Rip Shearer called Damian Dodson his little peanut. He's about 5'8", 150 pounds. But one thing that Rip really likes about him is he's got big play capabilities. Runs a 4.4 or 4.5. A local Memphis kid and quite a recruiting coup.
Out of Westwood High School. He had 4,499 career receiving yards in high school. And 229 catches. But he couldn't catch that long one. It was an interesting play call. On third down and 5. They went for the home run ball. Another excellent punt on the 8th punt of the day by Paramore. Fair made the mistake and caught it inside his own 10. And he only brought it out to the 12. A 52-yard punt, a 7-yard return. And once again, it was the bubble boy, the snapper, Joe Racconi, down to make the tackle. In the bubble, no longer is Joe.
Here we are on the Tennessee sideline with the score tied 14-14. And I'll tell you, for the 6th-ranked team in the nation, there's a lot of bad body language down here with a lot of long looks. Back to you, Sean and Mike.
You know, they're in a battle. Thank you, Artie. All back on the 12-yard line. First and 10. 14 all, just under 10 minutes remaining. Peyton Manning throws complete. Randy McCullough, short of a first down near the 20, a gain of 8. On the pass to the junior from Dayton, Ohio, Deron Sutton made the tackle, and he's been seeing a lot of action for Kevin Cobb. And Cobb's ordinarily the starter. We'll try to get word from the sideline if something happened to Kevin. Right now it's Sutton, the backup in at cornerback, and of course he had the big interception in the end zone in the third quarter. Eric Lane, short of the first down. Got just across the 20, and that's it. They'll need about 2 more to pick up that first down. Fourth quarter has been the big quarter this year for Tennessee. They've outscored their opponents 67-14 in the fourth. Another big third down. The Memphis offense obviously needs all the help it can get in terms of field position. They love a punt from this spot. Third and a long one. They need to reach the 22. Manning throwing under pressure. It is caught for a first down. Marcus Nash across the 30-yard line and out at the 34. A gain of 13.
Anthony Reddick has got to get tighter on man-to-man coverage. Nash runs down the field, just a little outcut. 3 yards of separation. That's taking candy from a baby right there. Sprint out, he anticipated pressure, throwing to his left, squares the shoulders, and he takes another hit from this aggressive Memphis defense.
20 completions now for Peyton Manning, 3 shy of the all-time career record at Tennessee. Threw that one away. Second and 10 upcoming. But first we check in with Pat O'Brien.
Sean, a little history at the Notre Dame-Boston College game. The Fighting Irish have gone on top 28-21 on the strength of this Robert Farmer 81-yard touchdown run. It is the longest run since Eric Pennick picked off 85 yards against USC in 1973. 28-21, 4:58 left in the third. Back to you.
That Notre Dame-BC game is a great game every year, it seems. BC beat them 2 years in a row, and Notre Dame won a tight one last year at home. And they have another tight one going in Chestnut Hill. Second down and 10. Again, a lot of time for Manning. Wants the long one. Too long. Looking for Copeland. He's been a frequent target today. Deron Sutton had the coverage. We mentioned Sutton's in for Kevin Cobb. Let's get a report on his status from Artie Gigantino.
Kevin Cobb is fine. He just came out of the game to get a little bit of a breather because he knows he's going to have to play the last 8 minutes like heck. Back up to you guys.
That's good news for the Memphis Tigers. It was Cobb who had the long kickoff return that tied the game at 14. We're still at 14, all 8.5 minutes left. Another long pass and a man open. Caught! Peerless Price down to the 20.
And that is vintage Manning right there. No free safety in the hole. He led Price away from McKenzie, and this ball is perfectly thrown. Free safety bites up top. Now you got nobody in the hole. You throw the ball away from McKenzie. You can't throw it any better than that. Peerless Price has come on as this season has progressed. Get a good look at Manning. There's the play action fake. He knows where he's going. Goes back up top. Plenty of time. That's the Peyton Manning we expected right there.
46 yards on the play to Price. On the run, Graham cuts it inside behind some good blocks. And he's inside the 15, down to the 13. Tackled by Anthony Reddick.
Well, with 7 minutes and 45 seconds left in this game, you sense a little bit of a momentum swing for Tennessee right there. They hit the big pass over top, and then they do a good job collapsing the left side of the line of scrimmage for Jay Graham. 25 carries. It doesn't seem like he's had the ball that much today. Wow. He could be sore tomorrow, Sean. That's a tough
61 yards. He's moved up into third on the all-time Tennessee career rushing list. Moved past Reggie Cobb and Watson. And he gets the call again and is close to a first down at the 11-yard line. Clock running down to 7:05 remaining. 14-14 the score. They're certainly in field goal range now for Jeff Hall.
But this is a huge third down and less than one situation here. Given that the Memphis offense probably can't score a touchdown all week against Tennessee, they've got to step it up here defensively.
Full house backfield. Lane, Ford, and Graham on 3rd and 1. Graham didn't get there. Matter of fact, got knocked down for a loss. Williams at the bottom of the pile. Keith Cobb over the top. And they will hold Tennessee to a field goal try.
Tony Williams, defensive tackle number 53, continues to make big plays. Watch the penetration right through the center guard gap, and then the tackle by 37, Jesse Allen. This defense has come up huge all day long.
And now a big field goal try upcoming for Tennessee, and the Volunteers forced to use another timeout. They have only one remaining. Tennessee is about to attempt a go-ahead field goal, and perhaps the most nervous man in the stadium is that man, Coach Shearer's dad, Rip Shearer, mentioned earlier. Rip, senior, longtime high school coach at North Catholic in Pittsburgh, now scouting for the Colts. And Rip Jr. told us yesterday, my dad gets a lot more nervous than I do when we play. And that's plenty nervous. Jeff Hall, all SEC last year, has not had a great year. Bothered by back problems, only 7 of 14 for the season. This a 28-yard try. His kick is right down the middle, and Tennessee leads again with 6 minutes remaining. The 28-yard field goal has given the Vols a 3-point lead. Tennessee leads for the third time in the game. 17-14. Jeff Hall kicks off his field goal of 28 yards, the finishing touch on a 76-yard drive. The big play, the 46-yard pass, Manning McBride. Bear in mind, Cobb returned the last kickoff, 95 for a touchdown. He fielded this one at the 10. And this time they make sure he's all the way down at the 30-yard line. 20 yards on the return. Tackle made by Fred White.
We've got less than 6 minutes left. 70 yards to go for Memphis. They have not shown any kind of propensity for gaining that kind of yardage. Got to find a way to get the ball into the hands of their playmakers. Richie Floyd, Damian Dotson, Andre Woods.
They have 84 yards of total offense for them. Andre Woods breaks a tackle. Quality gain out to the 35-yard line. Once again, here's Pat O'Brien.
Farmer scores his second touchdown of the day on an 11-yard run as Notre Dame puts some space between themselves and a feisty but undermanned BC squad. They now lead 35-21. Back to Sean.
Here in Memphis, a 3-point lead for the number 6 team in the country, Tennessee. Padre Anderson trying to lead Memphis to the upset win. It would be the greatest win in school history. Scruggs got nowhere near the first down. Al Wilson put the pop on him. Scruggs lunged ahead for perhaps a half yard. Rip Scherer tries to build this program. Obviously, he's going to need a great deal of assistance. He has the biggest booster he needs, and the president of this university, B. Lane Rollins, he said, "Our president is a superstar." Coach Scherer said that. Doesn't sound like he's trying to butter up the boss. He meant that sincerely. He said he understands the importance of football as a window into a university, and he wants to see the football program succeed. Third down. 5 yards to go for the first down. Anderson in the flat. Catch made. He's short of a first down. And a big decision for Rip Scherer now as Kerry Cobb went down shy of the 40. They need about a yard.
Good job by the Tennessee defense. Played a zone coverage. They took away the deeper ball, let him throw it up short in the flat, and Tyrone Hines made the hit.
Timeout called by Memphis. Looks like they'll be going for it when we come back. Sign refers to the history of this rivalry. Tennessee 15-0 all time against Memphis. That Memphis fan hopes his club will be 1-15 when this one ends. Big play right here. Fourth down, a long yard to go for a first down. And after the timeout, Rip Scherer decided to go for it with 4:11 left. Tennessee leading by 3. Woods and Scruggs in the backfield. Woods, first down, Memphis. They rolled the dice and picked it up by a yard as Andre Woods made it to the 42. Nick Jester, the tackler.
Really a good push up front. Showed some confidence in their offensive line. That was fourth and a long one. Cross motion. Look at the pull by number 74, Justin Mumm, with the key block. Woods inside, and we've got a first down.
Just the 6th first down for Memphis. They scored one touchdown on a kickoff return. The other was set up by an interception. The touchdown only went for 1 yard after the INT. Anderson throwing deep. It's underthrown. There's contact. And no flags thrown. It's an incomplete pass. Intended for Damian Dotson. Raymond Austin had the coverage.
Tennessee saw that coming the whole way, and I think Anderson predetermined where he was going to deliver the football there. That was a triple streak, and he had nothing open anywhere. Got to make first downs here.
2nd and 10. 3:37 left. Tennessee leads by 3. From their own 42, a draw. Woods, nice cut to the inside. Andre Woods, close to another first down into Tennessee territory at the 47-yard line. Looks to be very close.
That's why Woods is in the game right now. Watch the cut he makes in the hole. Hines should have the tackle right there. He barely gets a glove on him. Good acceleration, takes the hit. That is a great job by a 5'7", 170-pound scat back. There's the cut in the hole. Take the hit. Hold on to the football.
First down, Memphis. 3:10 remaining. Clock running. They took a long time in the huddle. Play clock at 3. Play clock at 1. They just did get it off. Anderson slipped as he tried to avoid the rush and might have injured his knee. He went grabbing for his leg as soon as he hit the turf back at the 43-yard line. A big loss of 10.
And Richie Floyd was open on the deep route about 18 yards down the field. Sean said earlier the turf is fine here. We both checked it out yesterday. Let's see what happens. There it is. You can see the right knee bend, and he's hit by...
Now they're having a very tough time getting the plays in. They might have to burn another timeout here because they're down to 8 on the play clock and still in the huddle.
Anderson limping.
Play clock at 2. And again, they snap it with 1 second left. Anderson going deep, has the man behind the defense. Carr out of bounds at the 15.
Carr ran an out and up route. Mind-boggling to me that you can get behind the defensive back with this time left on the clock. Chancey Carr goes in motion and runs out in the flat, and then he turns it up. 3 yards of separation on Raymond Austin. That's just mind-boggling. With 2 minutes left in the game, you can run an out-and-out pattern and be open.
Especially against a veteran standout like Raymond Austin, team captain, starting his 20th straight game. That's a 41-yard gain. They're at the 16-yard line. First and 10, 2:06 remaining. Tennessee leads by 3. Nothing there on the run for Andre Woods. Tyrone Hines and Nick Jester led the defensive surge for the ball. Under 2 minutes left. 2 timeouts left for Memphis and 1 left for Tennessee.
Tough situation for Rip Shearer and his offensive coordinator, Sparky Woods. You've got 2nd and long, the clock running at 1:42, and you don't have a big play guy that you can get the football to. They're not going to be able to run it in, so you almost have to start to throw the football here and make sure you take advantage of the time left.
9th play of the drive. It started at their own 31. By far their best drive of the game. Scruggs, that play's been a good one. Scruggs inside the 5 with another first down. He's at the 3. First and goal, Memphis.
This is a counter play to the fullback. He gets in a wing position. They go a 180-degree turn by the quarterback, hands it off to Scruggs inside. Not a whole lot of shake and bake, but Sean, it's effective. And right after I said they couldn't run it in, of course, they went down and close to running it in with a minute left.
Now the timeouts burned earlier in this half by Tennessee loom large. Time working against them. Scruggs tackled by Wilson. No gain on the play. 2nd and goal from the 3. 47 seconds left.
Name of the game in goal line defense is penetration, and Al Wilson used his quickness there, and Rip Shearer is going to use the timeout. And I don't get it because he just used up a lot of time on that before taking the TO.
Each team with 1 timeout left. Memphis, the Tigers of the University of Memphis, looking for their first win ever against Tennessee in 16 tries. Looking for their first win ever on national television in 7 tries. They have it 2nd and goal at the 3. Each team with 1 timeout left. Jeremy Scruggs, the only back behind Anderson. Anderson throws, end zone, caught, touchdown, Chris Powers. by Ted Lane, and he hooked it and just did get it through. And obviously that's a huge point to make it a 4-point margin now. 21-17 with 34 seconds left.
What a great job by the offense. Out of nowhere, they go 3 wide receivers and the tight end anticipating man-to-man. The tight end, Chris Powers, meets his man, number 9, Torrey Noel, to the corner. Makes a great catch, and it's a touchdown. He gets hit a little bit late. Let's see how that right leg is really bothering him, but you've got to give credit to Kadri Anderson. Hanging in there, delivers it on time, right on the money.
Wow. Prior to that drive, Memphis had 84 yards of total offense for the game. That drive went 69 yards, 11 plays, 5 minutes and 27 seconds off the clock. Powers with his second touchdown catch of the season, and the key play on 2nd down and 20. Chancey Carr sneaking behind the defense, beating Raymond Austin for a 41-yard gain to get them to the 16-yard line of Tennessee.
And I keep going back to Rip Shearer before this game, down on the field, just saying, hey, we are going to play these guys tough. Everybody thinks we're going to get blown out, but we believe in each other. And you can see the results. He's building something that could be great here at the University of Memphis.
Fearless Price, they need a big return from him. Rip Shearer said any rational person would say we don't have a chance in this game. He said, but I'm a hopeless optimist, and I told my team on Sunday, if you don't think we can beat Tennessee, don't bother showing up for practice this week. We don't want you around. Everybody showed up, and they're all here perhaps 34 seconds away from the biggest win in school history. Jimmy Key kicks it down to the goal line to Fearless Price. He can fly, he's tripped up at the 26-yard line. Big tackle made by Tavares Newsome because Price had a burst of speed crossing the 20.
And Newsome has done a great job on special teams today, and huge tackle, as Sean said.
Everything working against Tennessee now. They must score a touchdown. A field goal does them no good. Only 29 seconds left and only 1 timeout with which to work.
See how deep these Memphis defensive backs are.
3-man rush. Manning throws for Price. Price makes a move and goes out of bounds at the 47-yard line. 22 seconds left.
See, there's a fine line here between playing it safe and not playing it tough enough. And that time they laid off so deep, you pick up 15 or 20 yards. You do that 2 times in a row, and Manning's going to be taking shots at the end zone here.
22nd completion for Manning. 3-man rush. He's forced to scramble. He will run. And he goes out of bounds at the 40-yard line. First down, Tennessee. 14 seconds left. 13 yards on the gainer by Manning.
And that's a good job using his athletic ability, picking up the yardage and getting out of bounds. And with 14 seconds left and 1 timeout, they can still get 3 plays off if they're careful.
Memphis dominating the line of scrimmage with its defense all day, now playing very passively. Here they come, bowling! Dropped Manning, who threw the ball away. Flag on the play. Clock stopped with 8 seconds left. Manning rolled down back at the 46, and perhaps a flag for grounding.
What a great job once again by this Memphis defense. 91, Marquise Bowling. Coming loose, broken hand. He pulls Manning down, who throws it away. They're going to call intentional grounding. That is loss of down and a big penalty.
And Tennessee will use its last timeout. They're really up against it now with 8 seconds to go. This would be the kind of victory that could build a program and launch a coaching career. And Rip Shearer is 8 seconds away from both. After that sack and the grounding penalty, the walk-off back to the 40-yard line. 8 seconds left. Tennessee now out of timeouts, 60 yards away from the touchdown. They'd need to pull off the victory.
Rip Sheeran has now used his last timeout. He wants to make sure, he wants to understand the personnel in the game for Tennessee and match up accordingly.
21-17 Memphis. 8 seconds left. Second down, 30 for Tennessee at their own 40-yard line. 60 yards to go for what would be a game-winning touchdown. Manning is able to dump it off. Graham must go the distance. He's at the 50 and retreating. Flags down on the play. He laterals it back to Manning, who is tackled. There is a flag on the play at the 50-yard line. Looked like a clip against Tennessee, and if so, it is officially the biggest upset in the history of the Memphis program and their first win ever over Tennessee. But we have to wait for the official. It is against Tennessee. The ball game is over. And Memphis has its first win in 16 tries, its first win ever against its fierce in-state rival Tennessee. Let's check in with Artie Gigantino.
Coach Shear, what do you feel like right now after a great win?
I can't explain what I feel like. I mean, I'm just so proud of these kids and the way they played and they hung in there. And I mean, it's just a hell of a win.
What does this do for your program?
Well, you know, it's one game, and it helps us take a step, but it's just one game.
Here's got to be the second happiest man in this thing, your dad, Rip Chair Sr. Congratulations, Coach. A lot of emotion back here. Back up.
Look what happens here in the last play, reminiscent of Cal Stanford many years ago. Hogan does a great job, but Manning keeps it alive, dishes it out to Graham. And here's the big play of the game. Kadri Anderson, of second and goal, delivers the ball to the tight end, number 44, Chris Powers.
The ironic ending on the last play was Peyton Manning's 23rd completion, which gave him the all-time Tennessee record for career completions. On the day, he also became the all-time leader in passing yardage. He suffers what is likely the worst defeat of his career at Tennessee. Great win for Memphis. Now for Mike Mayock and Artie Gigantino, I'm Sean McDonough saying so long from the Sun Liberty Bowl. The final score, the Memphis Tigers 21 and the Tennessee Volunteers 17. Next Saturday on CBS Sports, we'll start off with the Franklin Templeton Shark Shootout.